Hey guys, Ty here from RallySportDirect. We got some new products for you here for the month of December. These ones are actually all pretty interesting. I'm super stoked to share them with you. So let's not waste any time, let's get right to it. So the first product we have here for you is the Grimspeed Intercooler front mount core. And this is a 4-inch design, which means it has 4 inches of depth to the intercooler. It also is a cross-flow design. And it's also a bar and plate construction, which means that it has a great heat rejection as well as a good pressure drop. So you're going to want to grab this front mount core if you're wanting to go with some higher horsepower, feed the car a little bit more air, or if you're just running into cooling issues. A big issue that the top mount intercoolers have with the WRXs and STIs is you're going to run into a lot of heat soak issues. This is going to eliminate most of that issue. And this was handcrafted by our buddies over in Minnesota at Grimspeed. They make fantastic products. Anytime you get something Grimspeed, you know you're going to be getting a quality product. They make some of the best stuff that's out there. And as for the why of this intercooler, why do you need it? Well, 4-inch depth, like I said, it's going to provide a lot of extra cooling. And if you're looking to make big power, feed the car some more air, and have a lot of fun with it, front mount intercoolers are kind of always something you need, especially if you're going to want to hit that 350 plus wheel horsepower mark. Front mount intercooler is also going to allow for you to run a rotated setup as opposed to the OEM location setup for turbos. So running a front mount and making your own custom charge piping will allow you to put on whatever turbo you really want to put on. So it opens up your options for how you want to make that power and how you want that power to feel. So grabbing an intercooler core just like this opens up a world of possibilities for you to make power. And the last thing, and probably one of the coolest things about this intercooler core, is it has a lifetime warranty backed by our buddies at Grimspeed. So if anything happens to it, they got you covered. All right guys, now what we're looking at here is the IAG version 2 competition series tensioner for the EJ motors. So with this version 2 series tensioner, it's pretty sweet. It takes all of the really great designs from the version 1 and just kind of adds onto it, like any V2 would. But the big difference is this has an additional roller, and that's to control the timing and the tension even more. Another big upgrade IAG gave to this tensioner, as opposed to the V1, is this is an all-aluminum billet construction that's been CNC machined. So it's pretty solid, it's gonna work every single time. It's a really nice piece. And why this piece is important is this is made to prevent any timing belt skipping that happens, especially with higher horsepower builds. Some Subarus, when they get to about 400 horsepower, if they're not properly built, their timing belt likes to jump, and that can definitely be the end of a motor when your pistons kiss some valves. And you want to prevent that any way you can, and this is a good way of doing it. So if you're going to be building anything high revving or high horsepower, this is definitely something you're going to want. It's insurance on the build. It's going to be peace of mind, especially when you're revving down to 8,500 RPM. It's always fun hearing the car hit red line and bouncing out the rev limiter. It's probably one of the best parts about abusing your car. So again, if you want to do high horsepower, high boost builds, this is something you're going to need to pick up. Extra insurance on the build, going to give you the peace of mind of hammering the car and not having to worry about it. Now what we have here is the IAG adjustable timing idler kit. So for you guys doing a motor build, these are going to be ideal for resetting your camshafts to the proper degree, especially when head work has been done. It's also a big advantage to run these when you're going to be running a thicker head gasket. So for you guys wanting to do high horsepower, high boost stuff, usually you're going to be running a thicker head gasket. This is something to keep in mind when rebuilding that motor or building that motor. That's going to make that whole process a lot easier. The neat part about this is each of these idlers features a machined 10mm hex to hold it in place while you're adjusting timing, so it makes that a breeze. It's actually a lot easier to use these than trying to do it the traditional way, at least for myself. It saved me a lot of time, and I know all my other engine builders out there would probably agree that this will save you a bunch of time, and I think it's definitely a product worth looking into, especially if you are going to be going down the road of motor build or motor rebuild, something just to make your life a little bit easier. And now we have the Boomba Stage 2 catch can kit. This is a complete catch can system, comes with everything you need to install it, all of the hardware, all the lines. It's gonna make your installation super easy and super quick. This catch can system is designed to catch all of the oil and moisture from passing through your vacuum system, which will prevent it from re-entering your intake system, which can cause buildup on your intake valves, detonation, and an all-around just bad performance of the vehicle. So preventing carbon buildup on your valves is huge, especially in the Subaru world. Carbon buildup on your intake valves can be the death of some motors, so prevent it any way you can. Additionally, detonation is an issue that some of us might have or some of us might have ran into. This helps that. So preventing any form of carbon buildup on the valves and reducing detonation is a huge plus. So what that boils down to is that your car is going to be running longer and performing better. This is all CNC machined billet aluminum. It's got a red anodized finish. It holds 350 milliliters of liquid. So when you utilize a catch can system, you are going to have to empty it out periodically. But since this one holds 350 milliliters, as long as you don't have too much blow by, this should be something you don't have to empty for quite a while. It's also got a 2-step filtration system that's inside of the catch can. It features an easy drain NPT plug, what they like to call it. So draining the can is really easy, it takes like 5 seconds. And it also includes a 2-piece bracket to mount the can to the front of the motor. And it is also designed with a quick drain valve. So again, servicing this catch can is going to be a breeze. So now we have these StopTech WRX Routers. These StopTechs are actually one of my favorites to go with. They feature the cross-drilled and slotted design. So what the cross-drilled and slotted design does is it's going to be relieving a lot more heat from the surface of the rotor. That way you're going to get more consistent braking over a longer period of time. So running this, especially for any track day car or weekend car, or really any car you're going to do spirited driving in, is going to be a huge plus. Predictability while driving fast is a huge key in safety. And even though all of us like to go fast, we got to be safe while doing it. So this is going to help you do that, right? Going to get better braking performance. It's going to keep heat off the surface of the rotor longer. And the slotted design of the rotor is going to help promote more even brake pad wear. So as some of you might know, brake pads don't always want to wear evenly, but with the slotted finish, it's going to help that. So in a short, if you want to have a car that has more predictable braking, has better looking rotors, and offers better performance, this is a no-brainer. This is, again, one of my favorite mods to do to a car when I first get it, is to swap out the old full-face rotors for something new and fresh like this. Makes the car look way better and makes it feel way better. And now we have the HKS Coilovers. These are a product I really like. HKS Coilovers are always going to be something that I think is super cool, and for really good reason. This is a inverted monotube construction. So what that means, instead of the fluids being down here, right next to the brake where they're going to get hotter quicker, they're going to be up here where they don't get as hot as quick. So it's going to give a more predictable suspension feel when you're out of the track and you're running it really hard. A few things that make these coilovers stand out as opposed to the competition is these have what they call dual PVSs. So this is a dual preload valve system that suppresses unnecessary dampening forces from higher piston speeds for better ride quality without sacrificing or without affecting their performance. So essentially it's going to offer a better ride without sacrificing any performance. It also has a new shape of bump stop rubber, so it reduces the body roll and achieves a better, a more comfortable ride, because HKS knows that some people think coilovers aren't comfortable. They don't want that to be the case. HKS wants to have a really comfortable coilover that's also going to perform really well. Something you can daily drive and take out to your track days and get the best of both worlds. And this is something that HKS knows a lot about. They've been perfecting coilovers for years. Their stuff is great. And lastly, this has what they call their low friction technology. So HKS has achieved a greater durability and lower friction for improved ride quality and handling performance. Again, it's a single tube construction. It's also got 30 levels of adjustable dampening, and it has aluminum brackets everywhere. So everything's a lot lighter and rust proof because aluminum. So this coilover for the daily driver or the track addict is going to be perfect. Hopefully you're both. It really is one of the coilovers that I'm very fond of. HKS is always outdoing themselves. They just make fantastic stuff. I'm a big fan of them. Again, check them out. Great for your daily, great for your track car. These are going to be a great coilover no matter what you do, and you're always going to have fun with this set. And now what we're looking at here is 1552's newest Turbomac wheel. As you might know, 1552 has done stuff with Ken Block. They've done stuff with Rally, basically as far back as it goes, and now they're bringing stuff to you. So this 5.2 wheel is great quality. This wheel is going to be great for anybody who wants to do some real rally racing and put their wheels through the tests and tribulations of their environments. These things are built really tough and they have a really steep lip in order to avoid debeating. And these are going to be one of the better wheels you can get, especially if you're someone who likes to abuse them. These things hold up to the test and they have shown it time and time again. I mean, just look at any of the Gymkhana videos. So this guy right here is an 18 by 8.5 inch wheel. It's a cast monoblock construction with a gold finish to make it extra hot. Has a 30 offset and a 73 millimeter bore. And this is going to be something that'll fit super well on basically any WRX or STI, because with what size it is, only being an 8.5, you're not going to have to do any body modifications to fit this bad boy underneath your car. And again, if you want to rally your car, you want to beat the crap out of it, and you don't know what wheel's going to hold up to the test, look no further, you found it. And now what we're looking at is a wheel I'm pretty fond of. It's the Apex ARC8. This is obviously a multi-spoke wheel. It's got a pretty shallow face to provide more clearance for those larger brakes, like the big old Brembos, 4 pistons, 6 pistons. You should be able to stuff them under this. So this design is pretty great for street or motorsport use, and that's because it's a 17 by 9 inch wheel. So for those of you who might not know, that's a great size of wheel to have, especially for motorsport. That's like the wheel to have, right? And let me tell you why. So that 9-inch track width is gonna be plenty. You're gonna be able to stuff a lot of meat underneath your car and keep your car planted with that wide of a tire. And the 17-inch diameter of the wheel is perfect because it doesn't have a whole lot of rotational mass, so there's not as much for your car to move and there's not as much for your car to stop. So not only will you be able to transfer your power to the ground more efficiently, your brakes aren't gonna have to work as hard to slow you down because, again, there's not as much to move. And this is a 42mm offset, so again, you should be able to fit some pretty meaty brakes underneath it. And this is a flow formed wheel, so it's super light. And this is definitely a wheel you need to get if you're wanting to dip your toes into any sort of track days or autocross events. It's something you just can't go wrong with. They're so light, they're so rigid, and they're just a great wheel for basically any platform. And now we got these BC Coilovers. BC holds a spot near and dear to my heart because they support the drift community a lot. Thanks, BC, you guys are the best. But aside from that, they also support the Subaru community, which I love and I am a part of. So these BC Coilovers right here are always gonna come in their flagship finish. So you get the really sweet BC Coilover look from the top hats and the adjustable collars here. So this BC Coilover is similar to the other ones in that it's still gonna offer all the great qualities of your traditional BC Coilover setup, including lowering, dampening adjustment. This means we can get that super aggressive stance we want when you get those BC Coilovers. The main objective of these coilovers is to improve the handling and the suspension response to give you more confidence while you're driving. So these ones are a little bit more track oriented. They have a pretty aggressive spring rate. These ones are gonna be 16K in the front and 16K in the rear. So you're gonna kill the body roll. And the 16K springs might seem like they're a little bit too aggressive for people. However, I'm here to tell you they are not. As long as you properly adjust the dampening, 16K isn't too bad. Will it be a little bit more stiff? Yeah, obviously. I mean, it's 16K, right? But riding with a 16K spring isn't scary. It's actually a lot of fun. It makes the car feel a lot more planted than your traditional 8K, 10K spring rates, and for obvious reasons. But these coilovers are super solid for anyone who wants to make a weekend track car, stance car, or do anything fun with them. I mean, BC Coilovers have never fallen short, and that'll be the same case this time. They're gonna blow your expectations out of the water. These are gonna be something you're always gonna have fun with. All right, guys, and that was our new products video for the month of December. I really hope you liked it. If you did, remember to like, comment, subscribe. It lets us know how we're doing. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.